What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the update from the Iranian phenomenon, Barse Tabani, who is getting ready to defend his Italy Pro and Dubai Pro title, which are happening in June. But this time, he's gonna have a lot tougher competition, especially at Dubai Pro, because that is the third biggest show of the year, especially in terms of the prize money, because they are giving out 140 grand for the first place finisher, and even the third place finisher at that show, they're gonna get 25 grand, which is still more than what most of these shows are giving for the first place. So there is a very high likelihood that we are gonna see more and more top guys than just Martin Fitz were doing this show. So Andrew Jack made such a big mistake last year by skipping this show and competing in Texas instead, because if I'm not mistaken, these shows were very close to each other, like a couple of weeks apart. So if Andrew doesn't win this upcoming Arnold, Ohio, he has to earn his Olympia qualification anyway, and why not do a show that pays the most? But Barse Tabani, based on his consistency, especially in terms of the condition that he brings, and how he is absolutely ripped and shredded to the bone every single time, and we have seen that from him ever since he turned pro, he's gonna be the favorite entering that show, because so far as of right now, Andrew isn't doing that show. But Barrose's comparison with Martin Fitzwater, that is gonna be such a treat for us bodybuilding fans. And look, it is pretty clear that if Behrooz was competing at the Olympia last year, he must have been at least in the top 6 or at max top 7, because he was able to beat a guy like William Bonac very convincingly. And his biggest strength is that he comes in absolutely ripped and shredded to the bone every single time, and he can just catch people off guard. So there are multiple bodybuilding experts out there who believe Barse Tabani has all the tools to even be Miss Olympia one day. The imbalance that Barse Tabani had, especially in his lower half, when he first came onto the pro scene, that's no longer there. And this time the good news is that he has hired a law firm in the US this time to get his US visa. So maybe after sitting out of the Olympia for 3 years in a row, and I have got to say 3 precious years of his bodybuilding career, we might finally see Barse Tabani on the Olympia stage in October later this year. And that is gonna be a treat for us bodybuilding fans. Guys, Mr. Olympia Signature Series is now live on hostel.com. Use the code FAZI10 to get 10% discount and click the arrow below to check out all the hostel products. So this is Keon Pearson, the reigning 2 times Miss Olympia today, just shy of 230 pounds. And even at that kind of a high body weight, 30 pounds above his stage weight, the man is still looking so damn good. And the fact that he never lets his stomach or his waistline out of check, out of control, that I have got to say is gonna be the key to his success as he transitions into the men's open division, maybe 2 or 3 years from now. Now, if we are being really picky about Keon Pearson, as some people are, the only weakness that they can point out, they are Keon's abs. That natural ab split that Keon has since forever. Now, other than that, this is as close as a bodybuilder can get to perfection, and his coach Patrick Tuward truly believes that this is the project of making the best bodybuilder on the earth in a few years from now, and that is gonna be in the men's open, of course. Now, it is so amazing how almost everyone talks about Keon Pearson in the context of the men's open class, because the man was just so dominant in 2024 in the 212 division that I believe he doesn't even have to make any improvements to successfully defend his 212 Olympia title this year, because there is just no one in sight right now that can really challenge a guy like Keon Pearson for that 212 Olympia title. Even Sean Carrera, throughout the Olympia weekend last year, there was only one dominant champion, and that was Keon. Now, as soon as this guy took the stage, the competition was just over. Now, I would rate Keon's 2024 Olympia winning physique as one of the greatest of all time in the history books, especially in terms of pure dominance. And we just cannot wait to see him get bigger and more denser and max out his 212 weight cap, so that he can finally move into the men's open division and compete against the bigger boys, the best in the world. Guys, Gorilla Wear is offering a massive discount of up to 70% right now. Use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. Have you guys seen the latest physique update from Andrea Presti? There is no way any other IFB pro in the men's physique division looks more muscular and more denser than this guy, because that chest development, that is absolutely bonkers. And to think that this is just the starting point of his prep, he is gonna scare the hell out of the people and the competition in the men's physique this year. And that is if he's able to make that weight cutoff. And do not forget that the men's physique guys, they also have to make that weight now. So the last time Andrea competed, he got the feedback from the judges that his arms are just way too big for men's physique division. So he decided to grow his chest to an insane level to match up to everything, especially his arms. So the first ever Miss Olympia that this guy did back in 2020, he was able to make top 5, beating some of the veterans of the sport. Now he was working with Hani Rambod at that time, and Hani Rambod did such a tremendous job with him, but he himself claims that after taking a 1-year break from all sorts of gear and the PEDs, and yes, as wild as it sounds, that is true. So Andrea, after taking that long break, he's feeling fresh and more motivated than ever. So this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, that is a great show to make a comeback, and that will be a chance for Andrea to stand next to Brandon Henriksen, the 3 times Miss Olympia champion, and also a former Miss Olympia, Aaron Banks. So this is gonna be a treat to watch for the men's physique fans. So who out there in the current men's open pros can match the freak factor of Vlad? So this is just the start of the push phase for him, and somehow he always manages to stay so damn lean and so ripped even during the off-season. And just look at the density on that upper back. He was clearly beating Muhammad Fadha in the back shots when they battled it out for that Chicago Pro title last year. And that was undoubtedly the best look of Vlad's career so far. And to think that the doctors told him that he most probably won't be able to compete at all last year after that tricep tear, and it took him just 6 more weeks to get back into the gym after that surgery. And after that, present such a competitive package, and that too in 2 shows back to back, that deserves credit. So that Chicago Pro package, that was undoubtedly the best combination of everything. His conditioning looked absolutely bonkers at that show. His waist also looked very tapered down, especially in those front shots. And the reason was he had such good volume on his legs. So at Tampa Pro, he might have been more ripped, but that wasn't overall a bad look for Vlad, because he lost a bit of his wow factor. Now he is a 2 times former Olympian, and he got the respect of everyone last year, because the freak factor that he displayed on the IG pictures, that translated on the stage as well. Next up, we have the physique update from Terrence Ruffin. So Terrance making sure that no one outworks him when it comes to stage presentation. Posing is arguably the most neglected part of the professional bodybuilding, because the thing is doing rounds and rounds of posing. That is no fun, unlike training. But this is what makes or breaks competitors on the stage, because the smallest possible thing, that matters when the competition is very stiff. Now Terrance's V-taper has been looking off the charts throughout the season, and for some reason, people do not rate him very high. Not only his stats speak for themselves, but the fact that he is the only classic physique competitor to win the Arnold twice, plus the man who has the most room to get bigger, out of maybe the top 10 at the Olympia. And yes, I know the top physiques, they have evolved a lot over the years, but do not be surprised if we see one of the best ever physique transformations from Terrance as well this year, because he's also coming back after more than 1 year. So him along with Mike Sommerfeld, they are the favorites to win the Classic Physique Olympia title this year. So 11 weeks out from this year's Pittsburgh Pro, and things are looking very solid for Terrance right now. He should 100% dominate that show and set himself up as a top Olympia title contender for this year. Next up, we have an update from James Hollingshead. So James could not have asked for a better prep than this one. He connected so well with Stefan as his coach, and not only during this prep, but throughout the offseason last year. And it's just about time to display the new version of his physique at this upcoming Arnold in a week's time. And that is something that we have all been waiting to see. Now James is going to be back up on that Arnold stage after 1 year gap, as his last show, that was the Arnold UK, and Stefan rates him higher than both William Bonac and Sean Carrera for this upcoming show. And that means James is well on his way to crack top 5, or maybe as high as top 4 at this upcoming Arnold. But the real battle, that is gonna be at Detroit Pro after the Arnold, which is gonna be his first show scheduled after the Arnold this year. And James has his eyes set on that one to earn his Olympia spot. So the last time he had the privilege to be on that Miss Olympia stage, that was back in 2022, when he was unable to place. But this will be a very interesting year. Hopefully, he can come in like that Branch Warren's condition and shock a lot of people. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button. if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.